Sometimes people open their mouths and have no idea what they're talking about, and sometimes they do it intentionally to spread misinformation and to just be disingenuous. When they started finding all of the unmarked graves that had children in them, I had not gotten my status card. My mom was on me to get my status card, and I personally was having a really hard time because although I have a history, you can go watch the pin video on my account that talks about the history of my family, but I had a really hard time reconciling with the idea of getting my status card because I didn't feel super attached to the culture. I felt like I didn't deserve it in some way because also I'm white presenting, so I felt like it was unfair. And then they found all these unmarked graves with children in them, and that is when it really hit me that they wouldn't care that I'm white presenting, they wouldn't care about any of that, and my son at the time was the age where they would have taken him. And it was like that Canada Day where I just sat inside and I cried a lot because I was like, so much has been taken from my family, so much has been taken from people, and just the atrocities that have been done to Indigenous communities. And then you have people like this, I can't say the words because the video will get taken down, just saying things just to say things with no acknowledgement of what the actual history is. The fact that the white supremacists wouldn't care that I don't look 100% Indigenous. But I digress. If you don't know what residential schools were, they were schools that the government started to beat the Indian out of the child. That is their quote. Their goal was to remove the culture, the heritage, everything. They would cut Indigenous people's hair, which was very sacred to them. They would give them new names. They would not allow them to speak their language or under punishment of having needles poked through their tongues. They weren't allowed to see their families. This was all done in an attempt to assimilate them into Canada. White culture. In 2015, they identified more than 3,000 children who had been unalived from disease due to overcrowding, malnutrition, and poor sanitation, or unalived after being abused or trying to run away. And these were run by church organizations. And this led to Pope Francis apologizing. The Pope, evils committed by so many Christians. The Pope will recognize what happened. The Pope apologized for what happened. And personally, I don't forgive him or the church, because not only am I Indigenous on my mom's side, but I'm French Canadian, and I have extremely religious family on my dad's side because they're from, Quebec. And the things that they've gone through, the settlements that I have family members who have had against the Catholic Church due to the things that happened to them at the hands of priests, I don't forgive them. But as I always say, if you're going to be so loud about something, don't be wrong. If you're going to be so ignorant, at least Google it first.